Before the pyramids rose to meet the sky, before the Sphinx took its lonely vigil, the world had no reference for improvement or success. It was an age when the land held only the promise of the boundless majesty and mysteries that would one day define it. Before all of that, there was a boy who dreamt of it all. He saw the land scarred by conflict, its people fractured by endless fighting. He saw the wasted opportunities, the potential squandered. But in his mind, he imagined a different future. A single kingdom, united in purpose, their efforts woven together instead of set against one another. He dreamt of every legacy. He dreamed of every grand achievement that could be forged by a unified people. He was no longer just a boy. He was a scorpion, a symbol of rebirth, destined to rise from the ashes of chaos, to forge the very first kingdom in the history of humankind. In the year 3100 BCE, the land we would come to know as Egypt was a fractured world. It wasn't one kingdom, but many more. The great river did not unite them. It served as the very fault line between them. It was a time of fire worship and territorial gods, where the people of Nechen fought the people of Nakada, and the north, the Red Land, warred with itself. But Narmer watched the squabbling tribes, each with their own fragmented tale of glory.
Instead of telling tales of battles fought and victories won, what if we wove a single and timeless story? A shared history so grand that all would want to be a part of it. We don't need to kill each other. We need to build with each other.
Narmer, my son. Power was not inherited in this time age. It was earned in blood and held with a clenched fist.
Ankur was a man of that age. He was a lion, and he expected his son to be nothing less.
A united kingdom is a story told by a fool. A true kingdom is forged from a spear point. The gods favor the strong, not the dreamers.
Narmer went to his older sister with his frustrations. She wished to protect his dreams from their father's cynicism, yet she could not hide the brutal truth she knew deep inside. Their enemies would never allow peace, and the path to unity would demand blood. Narmer left the walls behind. The beautiful vision of his country, battling the mounting despair within him. He rode toward the river, losing faith in a dream he still dared to hold. But in the domain of Nakada, there was no vision of shared destiny. Their capital was a forge of conflict, and their sovereign, the Vulture King, was pure predator. His rule was founded not on the fragile scaffolding of hope, but on the enduring strength of fear. The inevitable struck swiftly. A messenger arrived in Nichen, a survivor from a nearby city, covered in the dust and blood of his defeat. He sought aid from the local ruler, yet his arrival was less a plea and more a grave warning. Before any coordinated defense could be mounted, Neferet, Narmer's sister, was galvanized by fury. Hot-blooded and unwilling to wait, she mounted her horse and rode out alone. But when she reached the valley, the horror was already complete. The allied village was consumed by fire, and its inhabitants were being dragged captive toward the river. As the Nakada forces retreated with their boats laden with plunder, Neferet performed an act of reckless heroism. She loosed a single arrow, striking and wounding the Vulture King's second-in-command. In savage retaliation, a counter-archer fired a poisoned shaft that found its mark in the fierce princess. The news of the carnage and Neferet's sacrifice shattered the heart of the old king Angkor. Overwhelmed by the swift, brutal death of his daughter and his crushing inability to protect his own, the weary ruler collapsed and died. Narmer now stood, utterly alone. He knelt, not in defeat, but in quiet, profound contemplation. As his gaze fell to the ground, he found the symbol of his destiny, a scorpion, its stinger poised, defending its claim against all threats. A profound clarity washed over him. The scorpion was not a creature of mere aggression, but a living lesson. It stung only to protect. In that agonizing moment, he grasped the true cost of his magnificent dream. His kingdom would forever be the land of peace, but to achieve that peace, he had to become strong enough to defend the peaceful ones. The moment had arrived. Narmer, now the Scorpion, prepared with ruthless precision, mastering the strength and strategy required for his future kingdom. He honed his soldiers, drilled them, and set intricate traps, certain that the Vulture King would not long tolerate this gathering power. Indeed, word of Narmer's rising army soon reached the Vulture King. Seeing a challenge to his dominion, the Vulture advanced, moving his forces toward Nekhen with the intent of a swift, brutal, and decisive surprise attack. But Narmer had calculated every move. The war between the two kings was brutal, with the Vulture initially holding the advantage. Vulture's king's soldiers were a force of pure, unchecked savagery, driven by the thirst for blood. But Narmer knew this, and he planned to weaponize it. He sought to feed the Vulture's ego, to draw the enemy into a final, inescapable trap. A trap that would not merely secure his victory, but engrave his name across history as the first great unifier of Egypt. After a brutal war, Narmer defeated the Vulture King of Nakada, crushing the very spirit of division. Narmer swept the length of the Nile, relying on strategic partnership, not bloodlust. The moment had arrived. Narmer became the first king of the first dynasty. The age of the Pharaohs had begun.